When was the first time you got fixed up with Bryson DeChambeau? How did that one come about, Chris?
We've been friends for quite a while. He's, went to SMU, lives in the Dallas area. I've been in Dallas for 15 years. We've just talked golfing quite a bit over the years, and then that relationship just evolved into where we started working on things, and it became more and more of a full-time thing. And we've been going, full-time now for about 2.5 years or so. So just a fun person to kind of try to figure things out with. Uber talented, obviously, works incredibly hard, obviously, and just so curious. So it's just a great environment to see, what sort of small edges can we find here and there in the game.
So it's of all the things you just said, Chris Cuomo, the words "working on things" could probably be its own book. So what are the things you're working on, or that you worked on with Bryson DeChambeau, Chris?
Geez. We can go down some crazy sort of rabbit holes when it comes to
Give me the craziest rabbit hole you got, Chris. What do you got?
Okay. So the biggest mystery in golf, right, is where does a person's control of the golf ball come from? Why is it that an 18 handicapper can hit a hole in one on one shot, the next shot the ball goes out of bounds? It's maddening, right?
Yes.
But it's maddening for a professional golfer also. Why can someone play really well one week and miss a cut the next week? So where does that air quotes repeatability of your golf shots come from? That's sort of one of the big questions in golf and golf instruction. And, Bryson, he's obsessed with that. Obviously, he's really into gaining distance. So that's been a lot of fun. We went down that rabbit hole, but he's also really into this whole kind of repeatability idea. And, we've come up with a couple things. One of them is basically he moves his body in a way where he, gets pretty close to kind of hitting an end range of motion at certain parts, where he can't overshoot a spot. So it becomes less likely that he'll, for example, close the face too much. So just kind of little things like that. We could have probably a 2-hour segment just on this topic.
Yes.
But just at the end of the day, where does that sort of idea of consistency come from? But then again, also he went down this whole path of creating speed. So every part of the game, he's just trying to figure out the whole thing. It's pretty wild, actually.
Where does the controversy come from, though? What, or do you scratch your head saying, why are people getting so uptight about this whole thing here? So where do you stand on that, Chris?
The distance side of it?
I don't know. Just the fact that he I don't know, that I guess people think that he's just, come up in a laboratory with something that it kind of, is a cheat code in a way, that he just does something so repeatable, and he does it in a certain way that comes up, pisses people off. I don't know, Chris.
I don't know. People, I guess in general, love to find someone to kind of root against a bit, But Bryson's got his supporters too. A lot of people appreciate kind of the uniqueness he comes to the game with. Look, is he trying to find sort of edges and different ways to think about the game that have been thought about before to help him perform at the highest level? Sure. Does that sort of, go against, kind of traditionalist approach? Maybe at times. Definitely wouldn't call it a cheat code. There's probably no one who works harder at the game than he does on the PGA Tour. So I don't think anybody can accuse him of taking a shortcut when it comes to work ethic. He's trying to work his way into possibly approaching it slightly different and hopefully becoming, the best player in the world by doing so.
Chris Cuomo here on the Rich Eisen Show. Last one for you on Bryson. What did you think of the 6th hole at Bay Hill a couple of weeks ago, where he just said, that big, large mass of water, screw it, I'm just going to hit it straight over it? What'd you think of that one?
That was
Chris?
Fun, wasn't it? I think that was wild. I think it was one of those things where there's obviously tremendous risk to it, but at the end of the day, there's a lot of upside. And part of the upside was just sort of the entertainment value. How fun was that to watch for him to actually pull that off? So this is where, I think his approach to the game is, and this is why people are watching, because it's fundamentally entertaining. He's trying to do things differently. And we kind of joke around a lot, with some of this newfound distance and some of the ways that we try to look at things slightly different. It's almost like he's trying to play golden tee out there, right? Take sort of the kind of the magic secret line that you wouldn't otherwise, sort of see, that you had to have special knowledge to sort of take, whatever. So, trying to turn it into almost a video game of sorts, which again might piss some people off, but it's rooted in a really strong work ethic. So I would encourage people to not be pissed off about it, but appreciate kind of the way he's going about it.
So technically, what's the trackball? Is it his hips movement or his big ass biceps, or what's the trackball in the golden tee of DeChambeau? Chris, what is that?
Yeah, probably his forearms, and he's got some pretty strong arms, and that at the end of the day, that's how you're applying force to the club is through your hands, and your body's helping to kind of amplify that. But he's got great hands, great really strong forearms, helps him control the face, create a lot of club head speed. So I would say that's the trackball.
Okay,
we're making that analogy.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.